All right. I feel like I wanted to make a video about this for a while, but let's talk about cyberpunk. So this is possibly one of the most hyped game of, I don't know, just say this game's been in development for 9 years at this point. So I guess for like past decade, almost decade, this game has been so hyped up. Everybody has been wanting this game. This has been like one of the most anticipated games that came out. This game has been delayed so many times, and if we look at it now, look at the Metacritic. This is the PS4 version. So why is the PS4 version of this game so low? So Metascore, this is from the critics, is 55. User score is 33.2. So if we go on, let's go on PC. Here's the PC version of the game. So right here, PC version 87. Damn ad. 87 from critics, 71% from user scores. And let's see some. There's some. What did you use? These are some user scores. And here's one. I'll give the game a point for graphics and the point of music. I don't know what that. I think that's. I want to say that's Korean. Maybe. But you're probably wondering, why does this game have such a lower score on PS4? And the main reason, it's because this game shipped out pretty much borderline unplayable on this console. The reason why is because, so the backstory is that this game was supposed to come out. This game has been delayed multiple times. It's supposed to come out earlier the year. It didn't. It got delayed, and then it was supposed to come out in November. It got delayed, and then November comes around. It gets delayed till December 10th, and everybody was excited because this was a game that was so fucking hyped up. Everybody was so excited. Well, it's been a shit show. So on base PS4, this game, and just PS4 and PS4 Pro, even on Xbox, base Xbox and Xbox, the Xbox X, whatever the hell they call the PS4 equivalent to the Xbox, has been so bad. This game runs like absolute crap. We're talking like this game can go up from 30 to like 15 frames per second. Textures aren't loading in. Character models aren't loading in. Quests aren't popping up. It just looks like awful on this console. I mean, here's some gameplay. I mean, you might be like, okay, that looks all right. This game is, but this is like just the creative character stuff. Look at that. Look at that. If you compare it to the PC version, the PC version looks so much better. And what makes matters worse on this, I'm gonna pause this if I can. Yeah, okay. So what makes matters worse is that when this game came out, they weren't sending, like, companies like GameSpot, IGN, they weren't they were gonna review the PS4 version. They weren't allowed to use PS4 gameplay for this. They were only allowed to use gameplay CD Projekt Red provided them. And that version was like E3 tech demo stuff. That's like E3 stuff or PC gameplay. Or gameplay we already seen, and it's all from the PC. And they were only allowed to use that footage. But and there's a reason because of that. And the reason is because the game looked like shit on on the last gen consoles. Like, so bad. Like, really bad. Like, we're talking like the game doesn't even load. The game will crash multiple times on that version. There's a reason why it has this low of its Metascore and a lower user score. It's just not working. It's gotten to the point to where people want refunds, justifiably. So people want refunds for this game. Here's the thing, though. On PlayStation, it is super hard to get a refund. Once you download a game, it's pretty much like, oh well, Sony's gonna be like, oh well, that's it. You're not gonna you're shit out of luck. You spend something amount of money on this game, even though you might have bought it on accident. Too bad. We can't give you a refund. There's been certain examples of them doing refunds. No Man's Sky is a prime example. No Man's Sky, some people got refunds because the game launched and it was not what people were promised. They promised a lot of things, and um, they never delivered. And the game was low key kind of buggy. But on but this is an occasion where it gets fucking shit. It gets really, really funny. Is that it got to the point that that CD Projekt Red literally apologized for the last gen versions of the game, and they were like, okay, we're gonna offer refunds. Just get in contact with Sony. Try to get in contact with Sony or Microsoft. Try to get a refund. And some people on Sony at the time when they released that were getting refunds. So, but most of the time they were going like, oh, we can't give you a refund. And the people were like, well, CD Projekt Red said you were giving me a refund. And they're like, just wait for the updates. And just wait for updates. And there you go. They were being blunt about it. They were being like, yeah, you're not getting a refund. I don't know how it was on Microsoft's end. I don't know if people fared any better on there. But it got to the point to where Sony pretty much removed the game off of their platform. And by that, I mean, they just, it's completely gone. And now they're going like, oh, we're offering refunds. You want a refund? Just get in contact with us. We'll give you a refund for the game. They delisted the whole game off the PlayStation Store. And then Microsoft took the same stance, but they were offering refunds. They're offering refunds. They're not offering they're offering refunds, but they're not taking the game off the store. Sorry, but that's just how it is. And with Steam, it's a different story. Steam has a return policy. If you play a game for 2 hours, less than 2 hours, and you have the game for maybe like 2 weeks or so, you can get you're eligible to get a refund. So there's that. And on PC, it's not fair. It's doing better than the console versions, but the PC version has problems too. The PC version has a current issue where if you get more than 8 megabytes of save data on a save profile, your game will probably, your save file will get corrupted, and you'll lose all your save data, and you're gonna have to probably restart, and you're gonna have to restart the whole game over again. And I've heard somebody got in contact with CD Projekt Red support, and they were like, hey man, are you guys gonna fix this? And they said, we don't know, maybe next update we'll do it, we don't know, it's not top of our priority. And so it's like, they're not even trying to hide that they kind of don't give a shit about this game. This reminds me of like how Fallout 76 handled one of their problems, where it was like somebody lost their profile. Like they logged them out of their profile and signed them into somebody else, and they were like, hey, my profile is gone. Can you do anything about it? To Bethesda support, and they're like, nah, we're not going to do anything. Bye. And so it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. Like, it's getting so bad. And I've seen some people say, well, it was probably CD Projekt Red telling Sony to take it off the store, which I don't believe, especially after this. So as you can see right here, CD Projekt Red boss likes tweets criticizing Sony for removing Cyberpunk 2077. This wasn't a CD Projekt Red thing because they were looking out for the customer. No, this was a Sony decision. And how do I know? And you're probably wondering, why did Sony do this? So in CD Projekt Red had an investor call. In their investor call, they admitted that the last gen versions were not doing too well to their investors. And somebody was like, doesn't Sony have quality control, to make sure the game runs well? And they said, yes, Sony did a quality control. They told us, that this game, we can't ship this game out. But CD Projekt told them, we'll have a day one patch and it will fix everything that you guys are experiencing on this 1.0 version. And they're like, okay, fine. Day one patch comes out. It still runs like shit. Looks like shit. Game crashes nonstop. Even on people who played this game on PS5, like, you can play this game backwards compatibility. If you play that version, which that version is apparently enhanced, it still runs like shit. The game will crash multiple times. It's just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. And the fact that people are trying to defend CD Projekt, saying that, oh well, This is it was CD Projekt Red. No, it's right here, and we can confirm it because CD Projekt Red's boss likes the tweets. Um, like the tweet on Friday, he said right here. So Andy, I can't pronounce that last name. I'm sorry, but Adam uh, Wowski. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. So CD Projekt Red studio likes tweets on Friday criticizing Sony for its decision to pull Cyberpunk from the PlayStation Store. Sony's announcement. And it's not. The likes have now been removed. Oh, so he's trying to hide his ass now. So here's the actual screenshot. So here's his likes. Do you know if it's mandatory? I bought on PS5 and I'm having a great time on the game. And will I actually still be able to play it after it's removed, or is it just a refund? I slightly disagree, only because no game will ever be perfect. It's a fair point. There will always be bugs. That I do agree when in the cases like Cyberpunk, where the bugs are so bad the game is actually broken. I requested a refund from Microsoft and they approved me within minutes. Okay. Not really, not really, really. It just shows that people are complaining. Sony doesn't want trouble. This is interesting. Avengers came out in a worse state than Cyberpunk, and you guys did nothing. Avengers is effectively dead on all platforms, making online play non-existent. On top of bad code, where all the people's refunds, they're next, right? Here's the thing. Avengers didn't start off buggy. I mean, there were some bugs in there, but it wasn't like to the point that Cyberpunk is, where the game is crashing 15 fucking times in multiple playthroughs. The game looks like an N64 game in certain cases. Quests aren't showing up. That's not how Avengers showed up at launch. The reason why it's not showing up, what happened and why Avengers died so quickly is the content. There was literally no content at all. There was just the main quest. There was no end game content. You're effectively just playing the same mission over and over and over again. It's just, I don't know how you can just defend that crap. I don't understand. People got a shit game, and even developers who apparently are being hostile to CD Projekt Red heads now. CD Projekt Red, the Reds, CD Projekt's heads, because they're mad because they were forced to put out a shitty product that they know that their customers don't like, and they were forced to put this game out. Whether that's because the heads were pressured by investors going like, you need to release this game now because we want to meet for the Christmas quarter so we can get the most sales and stuff. I don't know, but this game needed more time. I would have not mind if it got delayed. Another thing is that this is happening now. CD Projekt Red could face investor legal action over Cyberpunk's misrepresentation, which is true. Like I said, IGN, all these big top review sites were not allowed to show gameplay. We're not allowed to show gameplay of the. Weren't allowed to show gameplay of the actual PS4 version. They were only allowed to show footage from PC builds or E3 footage, and that was it. They weren't allowed to show actual gameplay because they knew people would be pissed. So I see. As reported by the New York Times, one Warsaw-based legal firm and CD Projekt Red investor have announced that it's analyzing grounds for legal action on the basis of misrepresentation in order to obtain financial benefits, which I feel like that could be the case, honestly. They could be doing that because that's fucking ridiculous that they released this version. I feel like I said, this game really should have been delayed. I know I've heard some people try to defend this game saying, well, the devs were receiving death threats over this game, so they needed to release this game. No, they don't. Just because somebody sends death threats doesn't mean you need to fucking release a game. Fuck, Nintendo probably gets death threats over, games that get delayed. They're probably dealing with death threats right now over the new Metroid Prime 4. You don't see them going like, okay, we're just going to release Metroid Prime 4. No, they should have just been like, dug in their boots and been like, all right, let's delay this game maybe until 2021, then release his game. So the game will be in somewhat of a playable position for the consoles. I've seen some people say that maybe they should have just released the PC version of the game first, and then the next gen and then the console versions get delayed, and they come out later on. I mean, that wouldn't be far, and I probably would have not minded that. I mean, companies have done that before. Doom is a Bethesda's a prime example of that. Doom Eternal came out in all consoles in March of last year, or in March, this year in March, except Nintendo Switch. Switch version just recently came out. The Switch version doesn't look as well as the PS4, and obviously not as good as the PC version. Doesn't look as good, but the game runs 30 FPS. And it looks decent. It's not, and it's playable. I don't like people are loving it on the Switch. It doesn't look as good as the other console versions, but it runs well and it looks good enough, and people like it. It's probably because the game's also fun, but I can't say that about this because this game probably is fun. And I've seen some people say, "Oh, why don't you just buy a PC?" Some people don't have the money, especially right now. People and stuff. A PC is a big investment too. There's a reason, and that's probably the reason why they bought it on console, because they're like, I can't afford building a PC right now. I'm just gonna get this game on console because they already have it. They spent the money years ago. They already have it. They just want to get this game and relax. I'm gonna like this is fucking ridiculous. And like I said, this is a big shit stain on CD Projekt Red's part, like a big shit stain. Nobody's going to trust these guys anymore, or people are going to lose a lot of respect for these guys because they got an unfinished product, unless you bought it on PC version, which PC version, like I said, even with the PC version, which I've heard is better, but it still has some problems which needs to be fixed. It seems like they're going to be wanting to fix this version, the last gen console versions, which they should, because that's where a lot of people probably bought the game on, was last gen consoles. I didn't buy it on the PS4 because my PS4 is bricked, but if it wasn't, or not bricked, but it's not working properly. But if I bought this version on my PS4, which I have the base PS4, one of the original PlayStations that first came out, if I bought that shit on my old PlayStation 4, it probably would have crashed multiple times. I would have faced the same issues. And I'll give credit to credit is due, that Sony is giving refunds. But here's my problem, is that Sony and Microsoft should have refund options on their store. The market is going towards the digital age. Digital is consuming a lot of things. People are buying games digitally now. More people are buying stuff online. More people are buying, like I said, more people are buying things digitally. And there needs to be a refund policy. Whether they copy what Steam does, which Steam's is not bad, or whether that's they do what Steam does, or whether it's Steam's refund policy, which is 2 hours, play the game for at least 2 hours, own it less than 2 weeks, and you can get a refund. Or they come up with their own system to get a refund, because this is fucking ridiculous. And the fact that Sony and Microsoft don't have refund policy, maybe Microsoft does, but if the fact that Sony doesn't, same goes for Nintendo, is fucking ridiculous. I think all these marketplaces should have refund policies. Like, this is ridiculous. This game has just been such a shit show. This is just right here. Consoles criticized at release. PS4 version unacceptable. Game has epilepsy triggers. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. They do have epilepsy triggers, and they pretty much, you can't even. They don't have warnings about it. CD Projekt Red promises patches. GameStop declines returns. By the way, if you own this game on physically, and if you try to get it and you bought it at Best Buy, you can get a refund until the 21st. Founders lose $1 billion. Yup. Sony pulls Cyberpunk. Microsoft issues refunds the same day. Patch makes 60 plus fixes, which even then is still, I hear reports that it still runs like crap and it still crashes multiple times. So they need to fix this shit. This is unacceptable. This is very unacceptable that a company like this, who's been very pro-consumer, releasing Witcher 3 DLC for free. You know, they've been very pro-consumer. They've always been like, yeah, man, we are for the gaming community. And then they release this shit unfinished, unplayable on consoles at least, and it's just ridiculous. I don't know how they could have done this. Like I said, I think this Miyamoto quote right here is perfect for this situation. Right here, a delay game is eventually good. A bad game is forever, which is true. I feel like they should have released this game. This game should have been delayed, because it seems like this game might not even be finished, fully complete until like March or February. So they need to fix this game. And like I said, like Miyamoto said, always pay attention to what Miyamoto says, because Miyamoto is great. He knows what he's talking about. A delay game is eventually good. A bad game is forever bad, which is what this game is turning out to be. It's like, this is why I don't mind it when games get delayed. It needs to be delayed. It needs to be delayed. Anyway, that's my take on this whole situation. Let me know what you guys think about this video content. Do you want to see more of this? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys later.